Now let's welcome to the cage, Pat Casey.
It's main event time at CES 76. Michael Parenti, Greg Rebello, Charles Rosa joining you cage side on Triller TV, where we've been all night since our prelim card at 8 o'clock, and now we're getting ready for the bout you've all been waiting for. And here comes Pat Casey, first fight in just about 3 months, coming off a couple losses, but tonight he competes for the vacant CES MMA World Title. Very tough customer, college football player for American International College. He's got that toughness and that grit. This is a guy that could come in here tonight and pull off that victory against the quote-unquote hometown Gary Balletto.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very tough customer.
We've seen it before. We've seen him come in here and play the spoiler plenty of times. Big, strong, powerful grappler. Heavy hands as well. This is definitely a tough matchup for Gary.
Yeah, Pat, the Gorilla Ninja Casey, he also has his own hometown following for Springfield, Mass. They call it the Jungle. I mean, back in his hometown in Springfield, man, he's like the mayor there. Everybody loves him. Huge following, just like Balletto does here. But the truth be said, he is in Balletto's backyard tonight, so he's going to have to put on a good performance, especially if it goes to the judges. I mean, it's in Balletto's hometown.
His opponent, Gary Balletto.
And here comes Batman from Cranston, Rhode Island, 29 years of age. You all know the history, the son of Gary Tiger Balletto, the legendary, iconic New England boxer who appeared on the Contender Series. And Balletto's following in his father's footsteps, both as an accomplished professional boxer and now mixed martial arts fighter. He's been teetering between the two, but has really found his home here in mixed martial arts and has done a great job in the process. For the second time now, actually for the third time rather, fighting for a world title. He lost the first attempt to Billy Goff at CES 66. Came back, won the middleweight strap in Rhode Island, and now he's going back down to 170, so he brings an 8-3 record to the cage tonight. It's going to be a very tough fight. This is, and we talked about this, Greg, you and I and Charles as well, about the difference in weight, how he feels at 170 versus 185. He has said that he feels better at welterweight. You think he could even go lower than that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Gary could possibly make 155. I mean, he's not a huge 170, but he is very, very strong for a smaller guy. So I'm not worried about the strength issue for Gary on here.
And he's also the current 185 current champion of CES, so I mean, this guy...
He's fought up in weight, he's fought down in weight.
You see the tail of the tape here. Balletto with a slight height advantage. It'll be interesting to see if that translates to a reach advantage once we get inside the cage as well, and the bell rings. We got a saxophone artist tonight.
Yes.
A little late evening sax for you here on Triller TV. You'd love to see it.
According to online, they both have a 70-inch reach. So.
Oh, there's the saxophone. That's live here. We're here live with the saxophone. This might be...
Not sure I can do much better than that, guys. That is tremendous. We actually saw this same young man at Mohegan Sun earlier in the year at Winter Brawl at CS and did a tremendous rendition of the Star Spangled Banner with the saxophone. This is a very talented young man in the ring tonight.
Might steal performance of the night, man.
Giving us a little, he's giving us a little Eye of the Tiger on the sax. You love to see it.
Now, is that Balletto's dad in the cage right there?
Nope.
No. That is not. That is Frank Esposito.
Oh, that's okay.
One of CS's longtime biggest fans comes in waving the flag. You know it's a big night when Frank is in the building.
He was always out when
This
I
is
was
a big fight.
Yeah.
And here comes Gary Batman Balletto to a raucous ovation from the hometown fans. Let's send it back inside. Zach LeBake's going to give us the official introductions for tonight's main event.
Welterweight championship on the line tonight.
Love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about 15-year-old Eddie Bishop on the sax? Make some noise. And now, live from Foxwoods Resort Casino, this is our main event of the evening, a 5-round battle for the vacant CES Welterweight World Title. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a professional record of 10 wins, 7 losses, 4 big wins by knockout. He weighed in at 170 pounds, hailing out of Springfield, Mass, Pat the Gorilla Ninja Casey. And introducing Fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 8 wins, 3 losses, 2 big wins by knockout. He weighed in at 170 pounds. The fighting pride of Cranston, Rhode Island, and the current CES middleweight world champion, Gary Batman Balletto.
This is 5 rounds on the unified rules of mixed martial arts. Rules are one of the fight. Any questions? Touch gloves if you like. Best of luck.
We're ready to get underway. As a reminder, this one is 5 rounds. It's a world title fight, so Gary Batman Balletto and Pat Casey locked in that cage for what could be a long night for both fighters. Gary Balletto trying to become just the 3rd 2-division champion in CS history. The first to do it was Matt Bissett. The second to do it was Billy Goff. Goff, who beat Balletto for the first time for the welterweight crown.
You're going to see Casey try to close that distance. Gary's got to look to try to keep this a boxing match. Gary's got great movement, great hands. He can fight from both stances.
Very comfortable in the cage, too, man. Nice and relaxed. Those are the best type of fighters. But Casey's an absolute beast, man. I can see his back standing in the corner, man. He's a strong kid.
Balletto's 3-0 as a pro boxer as well. Very accomplished in the ring as an amateur and as a pro.
You see Gary leading with the feints. He's starting to
good job there.
Almost shoot some uppercuts, too, to try to let him know that something's coming low.
Casey's wise with these kicks, especially against a good boxer of Balletto. Those kicks can really soften him up.
Nice takedown defense there. Defended the
job.
first one.
Balletto just shrugged him off.
Good feints there by Balletto. He's just touching him to start. Yep. This is the right way to start a fight.
Gary will
touch him.
And he will pit a Pat until he sees an opening. He's just going to be careful of the big, wide punches that Pat Casey's going to start throwing here.
Yeah.
There it is.
There's the one.
That's the one you just said.
Wide looping overhand right on cue. Knocks Balletto down momentarily, but he pops right back up. But that also leaves you open up the middle if you're Casey. So Balletto obviously will be heated on that.
Gary likes this. This is the pace of a fight that he likes, whether it's boxing or MMA.
Again, this is 5 5-minute rounds.
And, man, Gary Balletto also wrestled in high school. He was a middle linebacker in football, so he has that athleticism, too. Man, he trained with some of the best, fighters. I mean, he has Greg Rebella, has you on there saying that he's training, putting in some work with you. You see Pete Jeffrey in his corner, black belt in jiu-jitsu. And,
no, you're right, Charles. We talk so much about the boxing, but he has 6 submissions as a pro. So that wrestling background, he may be an even better wrestler than a boxer.
Gary's a very high-level brown belt on the ground, off of his back especially. But I know he wants to keep this fight on the feet. He's had some sparring with Brennan Ward for this camp, who's an unbelievable wrestler, just to try to keep that fight on the feet,
Yeah, Brennan Ward's an absolute savage, man. He's also a guy that's loved in this hometown, New England, and one of New England legend himself. So if he's putting in work with him, he's ready for these 5 rounds. Good shots there by Balletto. Ooh, good uppercut.
Ooh, good takedown.
Balletto's starting to find his timing.
Yep, nice knee.
That one broke his nose, it looked like. It looks like his nose just shifted a little bit.
That knee up the middle did some damage. Baletto's takedown defense has been impeccable so far, guys.
Good shot by Balletto. So calm and collected, man. Yes. He's looking like a true pro right here.
And it's the patience, too. You see him just slide back, taking his time.
No, you're right, Charles. A lot of guys panic sometimes in that situation, but Balletto does not panic at all.
Batman don't panic. He comes to do work.
Oh, Bruce Wayne don't panic. Good right hand.
Yeah, Casey's starting to get desperate already.
Gary's going to start thinking about a knee up the middle again.
Yeah, that knee really hurt Casey. Casey's nose is broken right now. He's going to have trouble breathing if this goes past this first round.
And that's the danger of that 5-round
vicious uppercut
fight.
Just barely missed by Balletto. He gets that crucifix in. Rear naked choke attempt. Oh, this is it. Yep. It's a wrap. Balletto with the rear naked choke.
Gary Balletto is your new CES MMA welterweight champion, 2-division champion.
Wow, man.
Like I said, Gary can box very well. He can box in both stances, but he is very, very underrated on the ground.
What a performance by Gary Balletto, the new welterweight CES world champion. Beautiful mixture of boxing, striking, uppercuts, wrestling defense, and then finishes off with a beautiful rear naked submission. I asked him, too, before the fight, man, you have so many submissions, but it says you're a boxer. He's like, honestly, man, usually I just hurt the guy and then jump on his neck and finish him. And that's exactly what he did here tonight to become the champion, the 2-division champion for CES. Middleweight, welterweight champion of the world. 2 division champion, Gary Balletto.
That's just the third knockout victory in Balletto's career in MMA. A very tactical performance. He really had it locked in from the start.
It's almost very similar to the Yuri fight, man. He broke him down, stayed very patient.
Take a look at some of the replays, guys. We'll see if we get a shot of that knee up the middle. Casey went in for a takedown. Balletto stuffed it. His takedown defense was incredible. Here it is right there.
Here's the knee coming up right there. There it is.
And immediately, Pat Casey reached for his nose. The blood was gushing. You knew cardio was going to be a problem at that point. And Balletto, the instant he had that rear naked choke locked in, it was all she wrote. That's as deep as you can get. Some guys, sometimes you can hang on for a little longer than expected, but when it's in deep like that, forget about it. It's all she wrote. Gary "Batman" Balletto does it. He is your new CES MMA Welterweight World Champion. Let's send it up to Zach LeVake with the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes and 8 seconds into round number 1. Your winner via rear naked choke and new CES Welterweight World Champion, Gary "Batman" Balletto.
Gary Balletto checking in on his opponent, Pat Casey, a show of class.
Gary,
these two were
I know we
supposed
have
to
a lot
fight
of celebrating
earlier.
to do with your team here, and we'll do that in just a minute, but let's put this all in perspective, right? You are now only the 3rd fighter in CES history to have championships in 2 different weight classes. Only the 3rd, right? You are now a proud father of 2 children, right? You just had a daughter recently. And now, tonight, you just won a world title in a building where your father made countless fight fans happy through his career boxing. Gary Tiger Balletto fought here, he won here, and now his son has won a world title here. I am telling you, there's a lot that's going on. We'll talk about the fight and what's the future later. Not many fighters can put all this into feelings, but I know you can. Talk to us about what's going through your mind.
Wow, huh? Woo! You know, having a baby girl only a few weeks ago, 5 weeks now, it's been quite a journey through a camp, through all that. And I want her to look back at this one day. Daddy fights for you, kids.
Now, Gary, I did mention about your father who fought here. How important and how exciting is this for your career and for your life to know that you and your father shared this special moment?
Yeah, my dad and I have a bond that's it's like no other. It really is to experience what he's been through, and for him to know what his son's going through to do this, the sacrifice it takes, the hard work, the dedication. It's unreal.
Hey, Gary, listen, we could talk about the future another time. Tonight, I want you to enjoy this moment. 2 world titles around your waist. Who else do you want to thank here?
You know what? I do this because I have the support of everybody here, all my friends and family. I love you guys dearly. You know that. This is also why I still do this. I do it for you guys, to inspire you guys that you work hard. You could do what you want to do. Enjoy your life. It's short. Don't waste it. Don't get stuck in the loop. Be happy.
Now, Jimmy, you have seen countless world titles in your career. What does it mean to see this guy get a second?
The Balletto family means an awful lot to me. I can't, Tiger Balletto's up there, but he's really in here in the cage. Tiger, we love you. We love you. What a father and everything you were in life. And listen, there has never been a more popular fighter than the Batman. Okay? So he won 2 world titles tonight. 2. And this is something very special. So let's all enjoy the weekend, and let's all enjoy beautiful Foxwoods Casino after this here. God bless you all.
He's the middleweight champion, and now he's the welterweight world champion.
Gary Balletto!
Once again, history made here at CES 76. Greg Bello, Michael Parenti joining me here for the post-fight wrap-up. Gary Balletto now just the third two-division champion in CES MMA history, joining Billy Goff and Matt Bissett. And Pat Sullivan brings up a good point, right? What is in the future for Gary? Will he defend the welterweight title? Will he defend the middleweight title? Where do you see Gary going down the road?
I mean, I personally hope that he stays at 170. I think that's where he looks his best. You can see he's just very athletic there. The power's still there, the athleticism. I just think he's better suited for the 170-pound weight class. So, me, selfishly, I hope he stays at 170.
Only time will tell what Gary Balletto is going to do with not one but two world title belts. And I would implore everybody, if you're a fan of CS and you've watched many of our broadcasts, you know the Balletto story. If you're not familiar with the Balletto story, it really is, to me, the first family of combat sports. From Gary, the father, all the way down to young Aiden Balletto, who is a great amateur boxer in his own right. Class act inside and outside of the cage and the ring. And it's great to see them success and to see that success continue on this stage. So a big night for Gary Balletto. And one of the biggest things that I wanted to point out, too, was just that poise. We talked about it in the Yuri Panforov fight. Balletto had that same cool, collected demeanor in the cage tonight. Never panicked. It was just almost a paint-by-numbers type victory.
Yeah, both of those guys, you know, Gary was coming off a win, Yuri coming off a loss, but they both seemed to mature a little bit. They both fought very patiently, very smart. They kind of broke those guys down, and when they saw the opportunity, that was it.
So a big night here at Foxwoods Resort Casino. I want to thank Charles Rose for joining us, Greg Bello. I'm Michael Parenti. We will see you next time.